gentlemen, welcome back in to another episode of the One Dad Seven Lives podcast. My name is Mr. Funk, and I do certainly thank you for joining me today. And today, the conversation I would like to have is round about parental rights, what you have the right to do as a parent, and what you should be doing as a parent. This is going to be mainly focused around about this new Don't Say Gay bill, as they're calling it, which is actually called the Parental Rights in Education Bill in America. Um, which, if I'm being honest, I would generally advocate that they look at bringing in over here. And the reason for that, quite simply, is the way that society is pushing sexuality, gender identity, and sex education on kids is unreal. And I don't believe that kids should have to listen to or deal with that at the ages that they're talking about. And they're talking about ages of kindergarten, which is 3 years old, up to the ages of 8 and 9. 9 being the oldest that this would apply to. Now, I don't think that you should be in any way whatsoever discussing gender identity and sexuality with the 3 to 4 year old. All of my kids are under 10, and if anyone was just a random stranger, not even a teacher, and this is the way that I put it to Mrs. Funk when we were discussing it, is how would you feel if you had a person that you didn't know looking after your kid or taking care of your kid and started discussing sexuality, gender identity, and sexual orientation with your child? Personally, I would bury the motherfucker. They would not be breathing by the end of the conversation. I would end them. And I'm assuming that most parents feel the same, because Mrs. Funk feels the same. And I don't want, and like I said, all of my kids are under 10. When my kids were 3, 4, 5 years old, I did not in any way whatsoever want anybody talking to my kids like that. There is no reason for it. There is no need for it. And the fact that they are trying to implement this stuff in schools, and I don't mean the bill, I mean the conversations that they're trying to have. It is taking the rights of a parent. You as a parent have the right to decide when your child gets that education. You as a parent have the right to decide how your child is educated on that. Because you know, as a parent, how your child is going to take this stuff. And I don't think, and please do let me know how you feel about this, but I do not think as a parent that I should have my right to discuss the birds and the bees with my kids taken away from me. There is no need for someone to be taking that away from me. And please, um, don't think I'm saying that it's something that, you know, it's not an easy conversation to have, certainly, and I don't think that teachers should be forced into having it with kids, which is what they're doing in UK schools. Please remember that. They are now forcing teachers to have that. But it's also taking parental rights away from me. You are taking the right for me to have that conversation away from me. You are forcing me to give up a right that I have as a parent, which is the right to educate my children. You are their caretakers between the hours of school, between morning and leaving, arriving and leaving. You are their caretakers. That does not mean that you get to dictate their education or how they are educated on sensitive matters regarding sexual identity, sexual orientation, and different things like that. That is for me to decide. That is not for you to decide. That is not for you to hang over their heads or my head as a we have done this and there's nothing that you can do about it. Because kids should not be forced into that situation. That is not something that kids should have to deal with at those ages. And I don't understand why this is being called the Don't Say Gay Bill, because it's not. It's the Don't Talk to Kids About Sex at the ages of 3 and 4 bill. It's the allowing parents to have access to the information and the source material that their kids are being taught bill. It's allowing parents to opt out their kids from certain pieces of education bill. Because the way I see it is that if you are religious, let's say, and you are bringing your kids up as religious, let's use the Christian religion since it's the most predominant in the world. If you're bringing your kids up to be Christian, you do not believe in condoms, you do not believe in sex before marriage, you do not believe in these things, you do not believe in abortion. But teachers are allowed to teach your kids if they go to a non-denominational school, which is more and more what is happening. There are less and less schools of faith, shall we say, um, certainly here in Glasgow, and I don't think that that's a bad thing necessarily, but your kids are then going to be taught that they should have safe sex. Sex before marriage is fine. I don't understand why you're going to get up in arms about that, but you're not going to get up in arms about 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds being taught that there are 5,000 genders and this is how you have sex and this is man's bits and women's bits and different things like that. My kids have full body autonomy at the ages that they are under 10, and they understand that their bodies are their bodies and they have the right to say no, and if they say no, then no means no. All 3 of my kids understand that. They can ask for a hug and I can say no to them, or their mother can say no to them. We don't, but they know we can, and we can tell them to come and give us a hug and they can say no, and that's it. It's done. And they understand that that's a thing. They have always been told from early that their bodies are their bodies and they have the right to decide who can and cannot touch them, who can and cannot do these things with them or to them. So they understand that. They don't need sex education from teachers or from a third party regarding what they are doing or what they are able to do or what they should and should not do regarding sex and sex education. And I find that utterly ridiculous. That first of all, it is now happening younger and younger in the UK, and two, the fact that this bill in America is protecting children from this. It is protecting kids from this, but you're opposing it. You are opposing kids not being taught from the age of 3 about sex. Understand that you, as a person, are telling me, as a parent of 3 kids, that I am a monster because I don't want my kid who just went into nursery to be taught about sex or gender identity or sexual orientation or sexual expression. My kids don't give a fuck. My kids like who they like. They don't care. Male, female, fucking dog. They don't give a fuck. Ain't no one caring. Weirdly, I have never pushed my sexual identity on my kids, and neither has Mrs. Funk. But my boy likes girls, my girl likes boys. My oldest two. My youngest likes both, but that's kids of her age. And if she grows up and that's the way she is, then that's fine. I don't give a fuck. But don't tell me that because my kids are currently heterosexual, that it is unfair to your kids that you are forcing this gender identity shit down their throats. It is unfair to them that we can't talk about sex in class. It is unfair to all children, the mentality of every child, to speak to them on things like this at young ages. It is absolutely disgusting that you think that that is okay. And I don't understand why people are allowing people like this to exist within normal society. And I don't mean kill them. I certainly am not saying that. But these people are allowed to roam free within our society, thinking that it's okay to talk to 3, 4 and 5-year-old kids about sex. I refer to my previous point. If y'all did that to my kid, I would bury your ass. They would never find your shit. And I don't understand why we are out here in the media and in the public eye telling people that the Don't Say Gay bill is wrong and it shouldn't be enacted. Honestly, I think it should be a fucking worldwide thing. None of y'all motherfuckers should be allowed to talk to my kids about any of that shit while they're in school. And if you do, and you think it's okay, then you are the problem. You are the reason that these things are being enacted, these bills are being put in place, because you are the type of person that would corrupt children with the idea that sex and sexual expression and gender identity and sexual orientation are things that should be discussed at these ages. And you're taking away my right as a parent to educate my child as I see fit on something that has no bearing on you or your life. Don't you fucking dare tell me. Don't you fucking dare tell me that I cannot educate my child in the way that I want about something that has no fucking bearing on you or your life. No way. Not a chance. And it's completely ridiculous that you are sitting here telling me such a thing. There is no way on this earth that you can tell me that it is okay to talk to kids like that and speak to kids on things like that, and I'm the bigot because I don't want this shit forced down my kids' throats. Not a chance. You are, if you are against this bill and are against the the fact that these kids are being taught things that they shouldn't be taught at such a young age, if you are against that, then you are for stripping parents of their rights. Understand that. And if you are a parent and you are for that, then you are not a parent. Absolutely not. No way on God's green fucking earth are you a parent. There is no way that you can tell me that you are a parent and you are for this bill being opposed, for this bill being repealed and pulled back, and for kids as young as and I'll say as young as 3 up to the age of 9, right? Just so that we don't say that I'm just keep harping on about 3-year olds, all the way up to 9, when they are still fucking children. They are still children at 9 years old. You are for these kids being taught about sex at this age. That is disgusting. And honestly, they should take you out the back and shoot you because there's something wrong with you. And I don't think in any way, shape, or form that it's okay to teach kids this stuff. And if you do, and you do think that that's okay, then you should have a serious look at yourself in the mirror and have a conversation with yourself regarding what you are allowing in your kids' lives, because there is something seriously wrong there. If you are happy for your kids to be taught this stuff and for your kids to be shown the stuff that they would show kids, and please don't tell me they won't or they don't. I have seen it. It has been taught to one of my kids already, and I went off the fucking deep end. So please do not tell me that it is not something that they don't show kids things. Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking absolutely do. And it's gross and disgusting and it's abhorrent. And I find it completely fucking ridiculous that anyone would say that it's okay for kids of these ages to be taught this stuff and to be shown this stuff. And for you to sit there as a parent and say that it's okay for my right as a parent to educate my child. And I just don't understand. I, I, I've looked at it and I've tried to see the arguments, and it all seems to be focused on the fact that the media have spun this to don't say gay. And no one seems to understand the fact that it's not don't say gay. It's don't talk to kids about any sexual anything of any sort, whether it be gay, straight, fucking lesbian, bisexual, transgender, fucking queer, you name it. It doesn't matter what it is. You can be one of the rainbow flag or not. You're not allowed to talk about that. It doesn't matter. And I don't understand why you're telling me that you're being discriminated against when it clearly states that no one, not one single person, is allowed to discuss their side, if you want to call it a side. Not one. No one. Not one of the rainbow flag warriors or anyone outside of that group. Doesn't matter who you are, or what your sexual expression or sexual identity or sexual orientation or gender or pronouns. Doesn't matter what they are. Doesn't matter what any of them are. There is no there is nothing in any way whatsoever that says that you can talk to kids of these ages about it. So it's not a don't say gay bill, and please stop twisting it like that shit. The media called it that to try and sensationalise it, which is awesome. It's what the media fucking does. Woohoo, go you guys. But don't sit here and tell me that you are being discriminated against when and you don't even have kids within this. Like, what you're talking about is completely outside your remit. You don't have any reason or any necessity to be talking about it because you don't have kids, or you don't have kids within this age range, and the only reason that you're doing it is for what, some online clout, so that you can tell people, oh, I oppose the don't say gay bill. Whoop to fucking do that, kid. Who cares? So you're the opposition, that you're the person that thinks that my rights as a parent should be stripped. You're the person that thinks that a 3-year-old child should be taught about sex. Do you understand that? Is it getting through your thick fucking skull yet? Are you able to put two and two together and get four and not come up with 600? Please, I need you to understand that, yes, you may be fucking dense. You may be an idiot. You do not have a horse in this race. There is no need for you to be opposing a bill that is for child education, and you have no kids and no horse in the race in any way whatsoever. You don't have kids, nieces, nephews, aunties, uncles, fucking anything with anyone that is in the education system. Don't tell me as a parent that I am a bigot and my rights should be diminished as a parent because it offends you that the media called this the don't say gay bill. Because that's all it is. The media called it that shit and y'all motherfuckers jumped on it. That's all that happened. The media said don't say gay, y'all motherfuckers went for it. That is all that happened. Because the bill is about parental rights. The right of a parent to have more impact and influence on their child's education. That is what it's about. It signifies no content of any sexuality or sexual conversation. So that doesn't matter if they're straight or not. But y'all motherfuckers concentrate on the word gay and the fact that the media called it the don't say gay bill. So as soon as you saw that, whew, no education, no fucking research, nothing about it. I ain't even American. I don't even live in your country. Y'all motherfuckers still manage to get it wrong. Please let me understand that. Make it make sense. Help me help you. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You some crazy motherfuckers. You are out here telling me as a parent that your rights of sexuality and sexual orientation are far more important to my child than my rights as a parent are over my child. Are you trying to tell me that you have more right to tell my child what they should and shouldn't learn than I do? For real? Please, please help me understand this. Like, it doesn't seem to make sense, and it doesn't seem to be going in the direction that y'all think it's going, because what the fuck? You you're out here saying the word gay 5,000 times on a TikTok video or a fucking YouTube video for some clout so that you can say, oh, I oppose this, when all you're really doing is trying to tell me that you have more rights over the educational system that my child is within than I do as their parent. Does that make sense? Does it? Does it really? Please make it make sense. I am fucking confused beyond everything and everywhere, and none of it is managing to sink in. And please, if you have something to say about it and you're able to enlighten me as to why I am wrong, then please do let me know. Because as far as I can tell, y'all some fucking psychos that need shot. That's what it seems like to me. That's what it seems like. Because if y'all were to fucking talk to my kids the way you're trying to tell me that they should be spoken to, from where y'all would be murdered. Like, y'all would be in the dirt. Like, I'd kill a motherfucker for that shit. And I know a lot of parents would. Like, you don't seem to understand the stress and the strain that you're putting on fucking everybody. For what? A word that you deem as what? I don't get it. Like what? The media said that the thing says don't say gay, so y'all just jumped on the fucking bandwagon and decided, oh, we need to tell these people. Fuck off. Don't be a twat. Anyway, rant over. I'm gonna get to signing off now. Thank you very much for listening. If you do agree or don't agree, please do leave a comment wherever you're listening if you're able to. If you are on YouTube, please do thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you thought of the video. Leave a comment to let me know um, how I can educate myself, and I may even be looking to bring some people on at some point just to have discussions round about the things that I've already discussed. So if you are interested in that, please do leave a comment letting me know, and we'll certainly look at that for you. Um, and you can find me over on Twitter. As I've said many a time now, the Twitter handle is one dad pod. That's the number one and then dad pod. DADPOD. Um, and certainly, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for listening. And yo, have a great day. Cheers.